A record number of tornadoes have touched down, wiping out entire cities in the Midwest. The results are tragic and deadly. This year so far, 6,000 Guard members have responded to domestic disasters. Unlike overseas deployments, Guardsmen and women do not know how long they will have to stay in areas like Joplin, Missouri. The Guard is still working in the life-saving phase on the ground in Missouri and eventually will transition into the recovery phase. Major General David Harris assists with planning, coordinating, and information sharing for all aspects of the National Guard on the ground.
Well, we certainly have enough people. We do a very good job of balancing our responsibility to support our deployments overseas and our responsibility to provide support to our home front, which we consider our #1 mission.
Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Admiral Mike Mullen, will travel to China in July to continue forging America's relationship with the Chinese military. Admiral Mullen said Thursday his meetings in Beijing are aimed at understanding China's intentions and capabilities in the years ahead.
We share many common interests with China, both in the region and in the world, and despite the differences between us, or maybe because of them, we both have a responsibility to lead and to communicate. We have a responsibility to fundamentally change this relationship.
Admiral Mullen's Chinese counterpart, General Chen, was in Washington last week for talks at the Pentagon in what the chairman called a very successful visit. In honor of Military Appreciation Week, and for the first time ever, a popular Washington, D.C. country radio station, WMZQ, aired live from the heart of the Pentagon. The Boxer Show in the morning and his team set up bright and early, 4 a.m., Wednesday to broadcast live from the sunken food court area. Service members, civilians, and visitors stopped by to meet the crew and listen in.
The modern concept of the warfighter isn't just boots on the ground, but also the many layers of support the military has in place to keep the mission on point. And as one combat support agency has discovered, sometimes the best military asset is actually a civilian.
The Defense Logistics Agency employs many civilians who are committed to serving the warfighter, but some take that commitment one step farther by volunteering for deployment where they are needed the most. Deployed civilian employees serve in areas such as Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan. And to make sure they have the skills needed when they arrive downrange, DLA and the Joint Logistics Operations Center created the Materiel Management Contingency Training program.
Without this part, the wheel does not go round and round.
The class, the Materiel Management Contingency Training class, is a course that was created to take our deployers and embed them with military units around the world.
Located at the Joint Forces Training Base in Los Alamitos, California, the week-long course covers logistics operations as well as crucial quality of life issues.
We really encourage for you to talk to your spouse, your parent, and your children about your deployment.
The civilians are attending on a volunteer basis. The deployment lasts at least 6 months and may extend to 9 months or to a year.
Hopefully I'll be supporting the warfighter in 2 parts, helping them as a DLA representative to show them how they can find out information that they're looking for.
Upon completion, the civilians are ready to take their place side by side with the warfighters and fulfill a unique role in the mission supply chain.
Coming up ahead on Around the Services, we take a closer look at how the mental wounds of war affect the families of service members. But first, we head downrange where rising temperatures and risks of dehydration are keeping one safety crew very busy.